All right, so through the magical power of editing, we're back here with our table. We've already got our three hard coats applied and one of our top coats. We've got one more top coat to finish here, and Brian's going to talk us through that.
We do the same process as yesterday. I've got my well line. Just pull it back, do about a third of the table each time. It feels like each layer I've got on here is getting smoother and smoother. It's still not a glass top finish because of the characteristics of pecan, I guess. Is but you can feel that it's a handmade piece, which to me means more than just a manufactured product.
Now all these the hard coat and these top coats. This is going to make this a durable kitchen table to where it handles the normal wear and tear daily usage. Is that
Yes, yeah. If you spill water and leave it for a while, it's not going to ruin the piece. I would feel bad if I spilt something on this, just after all the time I've spent on it. So we'll let that. We wiped it down. We got a new side on our what do they call these? Microfiber cloths. Always want to use a new one every time you start over on this.
now is the cure time on the top coat the same as it was for the hard coat?
Yes. So after 60 seconds, you can buff it out here. And it's about 60 minutes to 90 minutes between coats. And then we're done. So I'll do that same process over the other 2/3. And hopefully we can get it shipped out today.
This will be a piece that's going into a client's house for their dining room table. It's going to be absolutely gorgeous once it's completed with the metal base that they're going to be attaching to this, and it will be a showpiece, an absolute one of a kind. Brian has really put in a lot of work on this in conjunction with Triad Timber and Millworks sawing and drying and flattening the slabs. It's just a huge collaboration. And
when did you start cutting this? Do you remember?
This was cut about 6 months ago. We cut it, stickered, let it air dry for about 2 months, and then run through the kiln for roughly 3 weeks. Any of the nut woods tend to take longer to dry, so it's a little bit of a slower process on that to get it to furniture grade.
If you're kiln drying it, why do you air dry it first?
Well, because when you first cut a log, the moisture content is so high that if you put it into the kiln, then it could cause more warpage. It could, if it dries too quickly, become brittle.
Is that with any wood?
Yes, with any wood, we like to let it air dry for a little bit and get the moisture content down to around 20%. When you cut it, this could be close to 40% moisture content. So you let it air dry a little bit, get it down to around the 20% range, then run it through the kiln. Like I said, for these nut woods, it's about a 3-week process. Some of the other ones, the oaks, poplar, 2 weeks. And then once we remove it from the kiln, we put it on our slab miser, wood miser, slab miser to flatten it. It gets a true flat. Whereas, if you run it through a plane, if you've got a plane big enough, it may not necessarily take any warping out. So this will get a true flat, and then the process comes to you from there to do all the finishing. And as you can see, Brian's done an excellent job here on the finishing of it, and and all the preparation for the customer to enjoy this product.
When you cut this, you had no idea what it was going to be, correct?
No idea. This was a log that we had picked up, and if you looked at the log laying there, it was absolutely ugly. Which those are the ones that create the most beautiful wood, in my opinion, because you can see that it's got character all excuse me, all over the place here. And so yeah, when we cut it, we had no idea what it was going to be. In fact, we've got some more pieces in our store here that are for sale for us to make something for you. So there's more pieces that have this character, and then other pieces that have even other types of character in it. So rarely do we know, unless it's a customer order, when we're cutting a log, what it's going to end up making. That's all the imagination as to what is going to be made out of these.
So if you have a customer that comes in, we've had several customers come in and say, I got a log laying, it just fell. Can we make something out of it? What is that? How long does that whole process take?
Well, they get the log to the mill, or we pick it up, and depending on what they're wanting done, if they're wanting board and batten, or mantles, that's not a long process to cut. Log on our Wood-Mizer LT70 Super, we can go through a log in 20 minutes, 30 minutes, depending on what type of cut they're wanting to have done, how big the log is. So the cutting can be fairly quick, just depending on what the order is. The drying is the longer process. Like I said, we like to let it air dry, stacked and stickered, covered with some tin to keep the elements off of it for a couple months is ideal. And then it can go into the kiln, and then whatever process needs to be done after that, whether they want it surface 4-side, surface 2-side, or if they're just wanting it rough cut.
Okay. Well, thanks everybody for listening.
Yes, thank y'all.